We killed the wasp's nests, but now we found a yellow jacket's nest. Okay, it's got this 50s GMC loaded up. I get this 40-foot trailer in here. Thankfully this parking lot was a big one behind the house because there's no way to get around the house. And if this was a small alley, it would have been even worse. I'm really going to say I'm actually kind of excited about this truck. A friend Kyle told me about it. He didn't really know much other than the lady had this 50-ish GM truck parked and wanted it gone out of the backyard, or I didn't really know it was in the backyard until yesterday. The price was right, and so I said I'd get it regardless. It was blocked in the very backyard, sideways against a fence, with no way to get it out of the backyard other than going through the fence. Kyle thankfully took the fence down, and there was a church parking lot on the other side, alley access, which I couldn't get this trailer, this 40-foot gooseneck, down the alley. So I had to come in through like the church entry and kind of fish my way in there, and Russ helped me get it pulled out sideways and get it loaded. Had the encounter with the bee's nest. But anyways, I always wanted a 58, 59. This is a 59 with this style nose and with a bed. I've actually got a couple other 59s up here, but they are 1 ton or 1.5 ton. Actually dump boxes on them, dualies. And but I always wanted a single wheel 3/4 ton. And this is a long bed truck, and I actually kind of like long beds. I know everyone else likes short beds and stuff. Short beds are more popular and more valuable, but I kind of like long beds just because I grew up with long beds, because that's what we had, was a 68 long bed, and always needed the full-size truck box for hauling more stuff and firewood and stuff like that. Anyways, this it's a little rough. It's not bad for a 59, but it's definitely got some issues. A long ways off from a full restoration or anything like that. But again, I'm still just excited to have one of these, because I think when I was in junior high school or something, and I remember I was always looking at truck ads and the Nicholsworth and the Exchange and the Nickel Nick ads, the paper ads back then, pre-internet. And there was a 58, it was a 4-wheel drive, and I think it might have been a step side. I can't recall exactly, but it had this nose. It was for sale, way more money than I had as a early teenager, but it was just always a truck that I had kind of dreamed of having one day. And kind of interesting, like don't see as many of the fleet sides as you see the step sides. You can tell like the 60 to 66 trucks, like you can see how the tailgate morphed into those here beds basically. And so I'm not exactly sure, but I always thought that these trucks would all be eaten rear ends with the dropout third member. This one looks to be a Dana 60, and I don't know necessarily if that's original or if it's been swapped in. It does have a 4-speed manual, which I'm assuming is a SM420 by the looks of it. There's a factory V8 truck. This emblem's missing, but it does have the V8 emblem on the other side. I believe it's been swapped though to a newer V8, because this V8, I mean, it is only a 2-barrel, but I mean, it's got the newer, it's got the big balancer on it, which in the 50s they had some pretty thin balancers on like the 265s and if they had 283s and such back then. And then it's got the newer alternator, which obviously could have been was added, but I'm just thinking that someone had maybe a 2-barrel motor out of a car, 70s car around that era, and maybe swapped it in. I've yet to run numbers on this to see, but shapes on the head there. And the fact that it's got accessory holes in the heads, obviously it's not as old as the truck. I'm just real curious to see if we can get this thing to fire up. Unfortunately, don't know any history on it. This kind of is what I see and I'm observing. So it needs a driver's door pretty badly. It doesn't even latch, but they actually have a pair of doors in here that aren't perfect, but they're in better shape than what's on here. So I finally changed out the starter again. Just did away with the other starter, which didn't look like it was that old or anything, but put a used starter on that I had. Now everything sounds normal. It was a horrible grinding noise, and now it starts up easier. The way it sounded before, you wouldn't think there was any teeth left on the flex plate, but the teeth are still good. But it's just a 30 over 454. It's just open chambered heads, flat top pistons, a mild comp cam, air gap intake, polycarb, turbo 350 tranny with a trans brake in it, 205, Dana 60 front, 14 bolt rear, Detroit locker in the rear. And, Jim had this truck for over 20 years, but so everyone's gone today, and I need to unload this truck, which has got no brakes. The clutch doesn't seem to be functioning through the pedal correctly, and I'm down a backhoe right now. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this off the trailer without rolling uncontrollably anywhere and damaging anything. I don't want to hurt the tailgate or anything straight on the truck. That's kind of hard to replace. So I've got the Explorer here hooked to the back. What I'm going to do is put this in gear to have it pull off the trailer, get out of the rig, let it do its thing pulling that way while I'm holding it with the with two-shot here, and then I'll be in the truck and idle forward while that's idling in theory and pulling it, except I can't get that in 4 low. So we'll see how it does in 4 high, if it'll be enough to pull this, and use that as the brakes, and that is the go. I gotta get some tension on the chain first. Get this out of gear. Pull out the slack with the Explorer. Typical electronics. It worked before. Leave this in a forward gear and first, all I got is 4 high. Fire up 2-shot here and idle forward and hopefully ease it off the trailer. wanting to creep forward now. I feel like this would have worked out perfect if this thing would have gone into 4 low. Okay, finally got it to go into 4 low. Stop it with this truck. And it is off the trailer. Alright, we're on our way to get the 59. I don't think it has brakes anymore, so we need one truck to be brakes and one truck to be go. Got the tree mostly cut up that was falling behind it. Stunt double. Like it's got brakes. No. I didn't think it did. Hey, the clutch isn't doing anything either. Let's see if it's hydraulic actuated clutch and brake, or if it's mechanical linkage clutch. So it's still got the old manifolds, fan, all that stuff's on it, but it looks like a newer engine because in these years I don't think they had the accessory holes on the heads. And they must have, well, I'm assuming that's an accessory hole because there's a ground bolted to there. Does the other side have an accessory hole?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I don't think 59 had accessory holes on the head, so. And the block looks orange and all these are blue, so. I'm thinking they took this out of maybe a 70s car or something, or truck, and put in here, but we just don't know. The reason we popped the hood was to see why. Oh, this is the old, the brake and clutch reservoir must be under the floorboard.
Oh, great.
And it must all be hydraulic then, because obviously there's nothing up here.
It's got a mechanical.
Oh, is there, can you push the clutch down pedal? So what's going on? It's doing its thing. I wonder why it's not working.
Maybe it's rusted.
Well, he just couldn't get it out of gear when it was just sitting here.
Well, I know, but it should release it. But yeah, like you said, unless it's like,
release it, wouldn't let it roll at all.
like it's rusted, or the disc is rusted to the flywheel or something.
Fire it up, give her the onion.
So we had no clutch and brake, or the clutch didn't seem like it was doing anything. Went ahead and pulled it and let the clutch out, and we figured maybe the clutch disc was rusted from sitting and stuck to the flywheel a little bit. Got it broke loose. Also got the engine to spin over in the test. So now with the clutch somewhat doing something and releasing, going to put it in gear and use that as the brakes to go down the hill instead of having to hook the other truck to it. know I toyed around with this a little bit before, nothing happened. The key switch seems to be jammed. They got a push button here. There's not a floor start anymore. That definitely looks like it's sticking. We got no brakes. First gear, I mean, don't put your, yeah. Oh. It's been sitting a while. Okay, so there's a collector plate sitting there. I don't remember. Huh.
03.
2003. The story was, which is passed down to me from someone else who got it from someone else, is that they got it from someone that actually lived up in this area. I don't know if that's true or not. It's right there, it'd be the brake master cylinder. So let's see what it looks like under here. Not horrible. So I definitely can see everything more clearly here. It's the open lower bell housing. See the clutch, starter bolts to the bell housing. This is a starter we actually could use for the other engine over there, that van. But definitely looks like a newer engine. It's all painted orange down here too. Newer than the truck, I should say. Definitely is going to be a loud one. The mufflers have completely rotted out and through. We're definitely making the decision to just not use any of this. I'm assuming they did this when they did a 12-volt conversion. I don't even know if it's backfeeding. There's a missing fuse here that might be getting power from the alternator that feeds this, that feeds everything else through this wire. Just going to get rid of it all. Start over. Just put an HEI in it. New push button, power to the push button, power to the starter, power to toggle switch to the HEI, spark, and then add fuel. This is just scary wiring. Okay, so that come off with the coil. I don't even know what power wire that they already had to feed something, but I think I changed my mind on that. So looked at been distracted with other rigs, so I haven't done much with this. Gonna look at these numbers here. Looks like TO517TXD, so we'll see what a TXD suffix code is. That might be able to give us a little more insight on what this engine came out of. Well, a quick search says TXD is a suffix code for 75 Chevy 350 4-barrel, which this is not, and out of a truck, not a car. I was assuming this might be a 350 out of a car because it had a 2-barrel intake on it. That's just one source. I can do a little more research, but typically the source there is fairly reliable. It's pretty basic code. But yeah, it says Chevy 3/4 ton or 1 ton 350 factory 4-barrel. So could be this intake is just they put a 2-barrel intake and carb on it. I mean, there's possibilities are really endless. I mean, who knows what people have swapped around. I got lots of oddball stuff up here because we've mixed and matched parts and stuff like that. So anyways, I will return to this when I get time, and we will continue running some new wire, throwing an HEI in it, and seeing if it'll run. Taking the old push button out that they had installed there that doesn't seem to work. Got this push button that I found in another truck, came with another truck. Toggle switch off toggle switch shelf, which came off of some parts rig. I got a toggle switch there already, don't know what that's to. But like I said, we're just gonna start over with everything and do it this way. Get these webs and stuff out of here. Got it just kind of makeshift set up for now to where we can turn on power to the HEI with this toggle switch and The replacement new used push button is here. Also, whoever worked on this and set this alternator up did not do a very good job of aligning the pulleys. So I'm going to look here and see if maybe we can take, I don't know if that's a spacer, but if that is a spacer, I'm going to see if we can move the spacer here to move the alternator back against this bracket to shift it back. And then take this bracket here and move it behind here to push it all back a little bit more. And then hopefully get that a little more aligned with the pulleys. Right now it doesn't matter too much. Probably just disconnect that because we don't even have the alternator wired in at the moment. We just want to see if this will fire off and even run. Don't have everything hooked up yet, but for right now we're just going to see if the push button even works. To get connection. Turns over, sounds a little rough. Go ahead. Hooked the fuel line to the temporary boat tank. Primed the fuel line into the carb. Got some new fuel running to it. Cleaned the battery terminals about 50 more times. So now the question is, does the clutch do anything? We kind of had a little issue with it, acting like it was not working like it was supposed to, or rusted up when we pulled it out from where I had it parked at. So let's find out. Probably gonna grind on me. And it sure is. Also, the one muffler is completely rotted off. Anyways, well, let's see if we start it in gear, what happens. Definitely is not disengaging the clutch, so just started in gear in reverse, backed up to there. Clutch is not disengaging it, the pedal, so didn't film that, but it'll move in gear. These door hinges need to be fixed, you know, a few other things need to be fixed. So let's hit first gear, take this for our first actual drive. Come on. Field is bumpy. I don't want to bounce this battery out of the tray. Definitely running a little rough. I mean, literally, these are the same spark plugs that were in this, except the only one that got pulled out was number 1. I did clean it up a little. charge the battery. We'll see if it'll start up again after sitting since it's been charging. Fires right off. One reason why it's a little loud, the other side is the other reason it's really loud. Definitely want to throw some different mufflers on here. So I'm just going to use the impact. Everything's so rotted, I'm sure I'll just break these off real fast. Wow, those actually came off. I'm not even sure what to think about that. And some more wiring. Brake master cylinder. I'm not looking forward to figuring out the brakes on this. So I'm going to go ahead and slide those mufflers, which aren't that great, but they're at least intact and exist. I came out of the black Suburban. I just put an engine in. And this exhaust was pretty rotted out behind the mufflers. These mufflers are kind of rotted out, but not as bad as those. So throw them on here for now, just to quiet this down. Wasn't a whole lot of this muffler to take off. Got them just kind of set up in there for now. Let's see if this thing will even start. Thing fires right up. Well, definitely a little quieter than we were. Now we can hear for other noises. So that's our start to the 59 GMC 150. We'll continue this project as time allows and get more parts and ideas and stuff, but at least it starts and runs and it moves if you start it in gear. Next up is clutch, brakes, tires, wheels, better exhaust, hook up the charging system, all kinds of stuff we could do to this when we get time. But for now, we brought it back to where it at least starts and runs. So again, that's a start. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.